guys, guys, so much has freaking happened, and like most of it off the ice. So let's just say that Grand Prix Italia was like, if the last competition was the triple axel event, this competition was the unexpected, the plot twist. I even tweeted it out because the short program really made us think everything was gonna change, everything was gonna be different. And then the free program, everything like fell back into like the ordered timeline that we've always known. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is that the short program at Grand Prix Italia was the moment where we all thought, oh, is this how it's gonna go? The ladies and the men's both had like crazy results. But before we can even talk about any of that, we need to talk about the tea, because there's a lot of drama going off the ice. First of all, we need to talk about the thing that happened 3 seconds after I uploaded my last video. Yuzuru Hanyu announced that he is withdrawing from NHK Trophy mere days after he said he's going to land the quad axel, also known as the quaxel. And I am Yuzu depressed, Yuzu devastated. I laughed when I found out, because of course, why would anything good happen to me right now? Like, why would this happen to all of us? Like, we have never seen this man in 25 years. He says he's gonna land the axle, the quaxel, and he disappears because of injury. That ambulance is not for Yuzu. Point is that Yuzuru, wherever you are, at this point I think you're a figment of my imagination. I hope that you're recovering. Another withdrawal from the NHK Trophy, which has us all in panic, is Trusova. Trusova has officially withdrawn from NHK. And this, you remember when I said it rings a little too close to home? You know, the injury, I feel like they're stabbing an open wound, because it's mirroring Evgenia's situation in the 2018 Olympics a little bit too much. The Russian Federation does not even like this injury narrative, because they know what it looks like. It looks like the Eterra expiration date is a fact, and history is repeating itself. So they came out with an official statement which makes no sense. That says, first of all, he's already fighting with us. I would like to clarify the wording. Sasha did not withdraw from the Grand Prix NHK, but skips it on the strong recommendation of doctors. All these recommendations have been agreed with the Russian Federation, and together we have decided that it is paramount for Trusova to recover and calmly prepare for the Russian nationals in order to qualify for the Olympic Games. So, they're basically trying to fix it by changing a single word. Instead of withdraw, they're saying skip, which doesn't really help, because now I'm just imagining Trusova skipping and how much it hurts her, because she has a fracture. We don't know where, we don't know how. Well, I do know how, because she trains under Eteri Tutberidze, and she's 18 years old, and her body can only withstand so much. But regardless, Trusova skips, not down the road, but skips NHK due to doctor's orders. And at this point, it is mirroring a bit too much to Evgenia Medvedeva's situation right before the 2018 Olympics, where she had to miss events in order to be in top shape for the Olympics. Whether this is the last event that Trusova is going to miss, I do not know. I do believe she might miss nationals. That's just an inkling that I have, but Trusova is a competitor first and foremost, so she might just push through the pain, which I'm hoping she thinks long term and thinks of the Olympics, because sometimes it's a little, you know, her and her dad might be a little too short-sighted when it comes to goals. But at this point, is like I said before, if Team Tutberidze is not counting the Eteri expiration date as a factor in their plans, they are fools. And they're not fools, because at this point they have a backup called Kamila Valieva, so they don't mind. Their backup plans are called Kamila Valieva and Maya Chromik. I'm trying, guys. However, back in 2018, they were still trying to deny the fact that the Eteri expiration date was a thing. So they were trying to, you know, go by the favorite of prestige and accolades and titles. Now they're looking into what they can deliver, which is 15-year-old girls with immense talent and potential. So they got them lined up. They got 3, because Daria's still there in case anything crazier happens. And so yeah, Trusova is having a very similar and very scary story to Medvedeva. It's looking like she's legit injured and is gonna need a lot of time off to recover. I'm not worried about whether she will go for it, because Trusova is a fighter, but I am worried about whether her body can withstand the amount of quads that she does, because on top of everything, she is a quad machine, and when she trains, when she does a program full out, anything, it takes a toll on her body that nobody else is honestly withstanding right now, besides maybe Nathan Chen and Yuzuru. And unlike Kostornaya, I truly believe that Team Tutberidze wants Trusova at the Olympics. Of course they do, because if Trusova gets there and has a record-breaking performance with 6 quads, that title, that record, that moment will be under the Team Tutberidze belt. Of course, they want her there, but they also know who is the favorite to win, and that is Valieva. It's echoing a story we all know too well, and all I can hope is that she will recover in time for the Olympics, and her Olympics experience will not end with tearful eyes followed by a broken smile for the cameras and a coach who tells you you didn't give it your all. Then we need to talk about the girl who is literally fighting Team Tutberidze at every corner, regardless of whatever the media tries to tell us. Kostornaia, your little devil or three, as per usual, is caught in a lot of drama, in a windstorm of media. So basically, Daniil Gleichenhaus, freaking Gleich, talked shit about Kostornaia. Gave out an interview where he basically said, if only Kostornaia's gratitude was shown more in training process than on Instagram. It's so petty. I hate him so much. Oh my god. Anytime anyone asks me why I hate him, this whole interview is why I hate him. You know what? I'm gonna read it word by word because you guys need to see the pettiness. The freaking... This man sucks. Like, I don't know how else to say it. The interviewer says, Aliona Kostornaia. He says, our favorite, obviously sarcastically. How do you assess her future prospects, judging by how she did the triple axel? What is she working on now? He says, on all the other jumps. Haha. I hate him. He says, can you tell me more specifically? Because the interviewer is actually trying to get an interview out. Gleichenhaus says, ugh. Aliona posted, he didn't go ugh, but I imagine him doing that. Aliona posted a very kind, sincere post where she thanked us for working with her. If only it was shown more in the training process, in gratitude than on Instagram. We do not need gratitude from her. Our task is to help her reach her maximum, and when we succeed, she will show herself in all her glory. At this moment, she's not in her maximum. I think everyone understands this. The interviewer is like, what is wrong with Aliona's training process? Gleich is like, the number of run-throughs does not correspond to the rest of the athletes in the group. Basically saying she is the weakest link and she's not putting her effort in. The interviewer says, doesn't work hard enough? What is happening? Gleichenhaus says, let Aliona answer this for herself. Why? Bring it up then. Why? Why? You petty man. Child. He says, I cannot get into her head because, of course, why not make it, more petty? And then the interviewer says, does she come to all the workouts? And he's like, oh, thank God, yes. Like, he really can't. He's like, how can I make it more obvious that Kostornaia and I hate each other and that she is a nuisance to me and my life? Like, I hate him. The interviewer continues, so does Aliona have problems with motivation? Gleichenhaus says, it's hard to say. This is motivation. She needs to understand herself. People are all different. Not all of us can do the same thing every day and turn off our emotions, work for repetition. Now she's calling her emotional. At this point, he's just calling her hysterical. Doing the same thing that's completely of her sport, to go to competitions in a beautiful dress, please the audience and skate for it. This is a holiday for them, but doing it every day in training is the hardest part. Is there a problem in contact between Aliona and the coaching staff? No, there is no problem with communication. We are discussing this. She understands it perfectly. The question is how to help her with this in this routine so that she can squeeze the maximum out of herself every day, because when she goes to competitions every day, she does more than she does in training. Basically saying that in training, she does not do what she delivers in competition, and that's the reason why she's not delivering competition. He says, is the third in Canada result logical or natural? He says it's logical and natural, but that's not what we want, because we talked about her needing to skate with 2 triple axels in the free program, not rely on 1. Aliona's component scores became lower. What is this reason? Her component scores became lower because she does not do the choreography and the transitions completely. She does not do all this in full strength because she understands that she cannot spend more energy on it in order to reach the end of the program and make all the jumps. Point is that Gleichenhaus wanted to be petty, but then he can't freaking take it because the fans are attacking him on Instagram and then he's blocking them. So, and then of course, Aliona deleted the post, and when asked for comments, he said, I will not comment on this. So the girls are fighting, but they've always been fighting. We knew this. And not only this, he also can't help himself and also throw a jab at Evgenia. They literally just ask her, have you seen Evgenia's performances on Ice Age? Because she's killing it and getting millions of views in every her performances. And Gleichenhaus can't help himself and be like, I hope she wins, because Alina's already won it and now she's hosting, Alina's won everything. So I hope she wins. Like, he really, he can't take it. He delivers it and then he can't take it from the fans. Like, why bring up shit if you don't want shit thrown at you? You know what I mean? Like, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. He also commented on Anya's neck tape, and he said that he basically dismissed it. He said that it was there, now it isn't. You know, muscle spasms are common for athletes. Like, don't think about it too much. That was essentially his response. And of course, he said that he was disappointed with Anna's short program, even though she got the free for 2 quads, which allowed her to win. I don't know how to end this. All I gotta say is that I hate this man, and Kostornaya and Team Tutberidze are obviously not working together, and so I am in Coastal Depression. Coastal Depression never left. Coastal Depression is 100% real and here. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about the off-ice drama. Now let's jump into the actual competition, because the plot twists of the first day are all over the place for the men's and the ladies. So very quickly, let's go through ice dance. Ice dance, the main people here were, of course, Papadakis and Cicerone, which I really don't have much to say besides the fact that they look amazing, and of course, they won. And I love the costume change for the free dance. I think it's an upgrade. I think they need to keep it or elaborate on that for the Olympics. Hello, this is me from the future. I just realized that I forgot to talk about Stepanov and Bukin because I got a little too into the off-ice drama. And here's what I think about them. 1, I'm so happy they're back. I missed my little babies. 2, the story with them is always the same. Costumes, 10. Energy, 10. Sex appeal, 10. Concept, what? Like, they're doing Backstreet Boys that kind of meshes into like this sultry song, then it goes into like a dubstep breakdown, and this is all in a single program, their short program for the Olympics. Like, what? I don't understand. And then the free program is it's not like it make any more sense. Like, why do they both costumes give me like Star Wars vibes, and then the music is just a lot of beeping. But I weirdly like both of them. So those are my opinions on Stepanov and Bukin, who ended up 3rd. Then for pairs, of course, our king and queen, Sui and Han, won. And I mean, did anyone expect anything else? I didn't, and I enjoyed it. And again, I need their Olympic moment. Now to the men's. The men's had a very interesting competition because, like I said, the short program results shocked everybody for men's and women's. Because looking at the people at this competition, you would have thought that, okay, we're gonna get, you know, Yuma, Mikael Kolyada, and maybe June. That's who I would have thought. But I'm also a June stan, which, by the way, Junhwa looks so good. I miss my baby, and this is the first time I'm seeing his programs. I believe it's the first time I'm seeing his Olympic programs, and I freaking love them. His costumes, amazing. His short, in particular, impressed me so much. I really want June to have just a moment at the Olympics. Like, I need him to just deliver. And in this first day, he pretty much did. He ended up 3rd in the short program. But even more surprisingly, Yuma was not in the top 3. Neither was Mikael Kolyada. The top 3 was Boyang Jin, Daniel Grasel, who I didn't even register as a thing, but he's an Italian in the Grand Prix of Italia. I mean, my man pulled through. And then after, in 4th place was Mikael Kolyada, and as we talked, Jun was in 3rd place, and then Yuma ended up in 7th. And that's the thing about Yuma Kageyama. He is amazingly talented, but he's not consistent. My boy is not consistent. And honestly, the main reason why these men were up there was because the powerhouses like Mikael and Yuma kind of were having a little off days. Mikael Kolyada in particular, he was like fighting through some of the jumps. He fell on one. He was not having, I mean, he was having a typical Mikael day. That's his main issue, his mental game. But he was not having a good day regardless. And then Yuma was just having a terrible day. He didn't fall, but he landed most of his quads with 2 feet. And I don't think anyone has ever seen him in such a state, at least this season, and so I think it threw him off a lot. But his recovery story was insane. In the free, he freaking killed it. He jumped from 7th place to 1st. Like, that is insane. It just shows you the power that this little man has when he's on, when he is ready, when he's freaking performing. And then, to me, a surprise was Daniel Grasel, who ended up 3rd overall, like, after the free program. He's an Italian man, so I mean, good for him for pulling through in Italia. Mikael Kolyada ended 2nd because he also pulled through in the free program. He definitely had to fight. You know, his first landing, it wasn't completely successful, but he can do it. And Boyang Jin's short program, he was amazing. I was really sad that Boyang Jin didn't end up on the podium because his short program reminded me of Vincent So a bit, and now that I like Vincent, I just wanted Boyoung Jin to be on the podium, but after the free skate, it was kind of impossible for that to happen. And June, I just love June. June can do no wrong in my eyes. His free was also cute. I mean, good. And now the main reason why you guys are all here, the ladies. And the ladies was interesting. I couldn't stop laughing after the first day when Leona Hendrix, who people got genuinely mad at me when I didn't cover her, I think was in Finlandia Trophy. But listen, I was gonna say I got this much time, but y'all can't see me. I got a little time and a lot to do. These videos take like 5 hours to edit, so I just talk about the people who I think people want to see most. And honestly, I didn't really think that much of her. When I saw her, I thought, wow, that was good. But I didn't think she was real competition until today. And now I'm really rooting for her and really excited because why not? Let's add another plot twist to the mix. You know, like we don't have enough things going on and off the ice. But when she ended up third after when she ended up first after the first day, it was great. It was great to see everybody just freak out and lose their damn minds. Because that's all it takes. That's what you need to all realize. Team Tutberidze is no longer a fortress, is no longer a wall, is no longer a well-trained army. It is a house of cards that has Kamila Valieva at the top, Trusova with an injury, Kostornaya fighting her own damn team. Shcherbakova, we really don't know. We thought she wasn't gonna make it the first day, and then she pulls through with that Shcherbakova strength like she always does the second day. Maya Kromik, nobody had faith in her till like 2 weeks ago. And then Daria Usoshova might as well not exist. People don't really talk about her anymore. And then that's it. That's all we got. So this Tutberidze sweep, this Tutberidze army, it just doesn't exist. It's like Yuzuru Hanyu. It's a figment of our imagination. Feel better, Yuzuru. Please come back and prove to me that you're real. Anyways, when she ended up first during this short program day, after the short program, I was just elated with joy because I was like, this is gonna be a great story to tell. I really thought she was gonna win. But regardless, much like Vincent So back in Skate America and Mai Mihara, in the last 2 competitions, we'll talk about her in a minute, seeing Leona Hendrix here just rise to the occasion, just beat the odds and have the judges behind her was amazing. I like both of her programs. I don't love her programs. I'm not obsessed with them. I'm not rewatching them every day, but they're good. She is a beautiful skater, both as a skater and as a person. And just the fact that she's, you know, right there with the Tutberidze girlies. All it takes is for them to have one bad day and oop, there we go. Imagine if Shcherbakova hadn't pulled through. She would have probably been second. Those quads saved Shcherbakova. But yeah, Leona Hendrix, you have my vote for anything that you're running for. Then we had Maya Kromik. Maya Kromik delivered. Maya Kromik. I really can't do it. I'm sorry. Maya Kromik, like she said, I like her programs. I don't know what it is. It's one of the few programs, the one with both of them actually, the Blues and the not Tessa and Scott's Moulin Rouge, but the whatever her version is. I like them. She is giving me the theatrics, the drama, not just because she's doing well, but the drama on the ice. She is giving it to me, and so I'm rooting for her. And she really is trying to unmask me. It's like she heard me. It's like I'm manifesting it. Now I need to manifest myself anything that I want. And then Anna Shcherbakova, who was genuinely the true winner of this competition, the moment, Leona Hendrix, the winner, Anna Shcherbakova, because her entire career depended on this competition. Nobody thought she was gonna do well. That tape that we saw on her, the condition we saw her last in, didn't really leave us with a lot of faith in her and in her skills. And we didn't know if she could do quads ever again. And after that show program, we most definitely did not have faith. Her show program, still don't like it. The dresses, still don't like it. But in the free program, we saw what Anna Shcherbakova has in spades that none of the other Tutberidze girls have. The Anna Shcherbakova strength. Sherbs said, not on my watch. And she pulled that strength and she delivered quads, which right now is insane. We know Trusova's landing 6 probably if she heals properly. But Shcherbakova, we did not know if to do this, and she can. And that pulled her to the top. The final results were Anna Shcherbakova first, Maya Kromik second, which still crazy for Maya Kromik. I am always in awe. And Leona Hendrix third, which Leona Hendrix was definitely the moment, but Anna Shcherbakova's comeback was the story of the competition. And yeah, I just thought I had to get that out of the way because I have so many thoughts on just the fleeting nature of the Tutberidze girls, but also the fact that they as individuals have this nerve and character. They're like, no, not me. They're really fighting this Eteri Tutberidze expiration date with all they can. And I really hope that they survive after the fight, that it's not like they all retire after the Olympics, because I have a feeling, I'm not gonna manifest it, but yeah, you know how that sentence was gonna end. Mai Mihara, she is really making a good case for herself for getting on that Olympic team for Japan. Remember, Japan also has 3 spots for the ladies. And right now, I think Kaori's definitely going. Mai is definitely going. I want Wakaba to go. I don't know if the Federation wants her to go. But Satoko is also here. Satoko's not one of my faves. She did well enough at this competition, but Mai has delivered 2 competitions where she delivered 2 performances back to back amazingly well. And the judges are behind her, and it's giving her the momentum that she needs, the narrative, the popular vote. The crowd is always behind her. She has a charm to her, and the joy that she has when she delivers and she gets those scores makes you want to cheer for her. It's the Maya Chromic effect. But yeah, Mai Mihara killing it. She ended up 4th. Then we have her girl Satoko. And then also I feel like I should mention that Sofia Samadurova was Samaduroving it up, which at this point I think we all know what it means. She was there, she performed, and that's that. She ended up 7th. And yeah, that was basically Grand Prix Italia, which remember we only got because Grand Prix China could not happen. And it was a very interesting event mostly because of the events that happened before and after. All the announcements, all the shade in the media. I do think for pairs and for dance, it was pretty much very predictable. And the fact that men's and ladies was as unpredictable, even though in the end, what ended up happening is what everybody expected. That little, what if it doesn't? During the show program really got everybody. And now we all know. The one thing that this competition I think did is it kind of removed a bit of the veil of the invincibility of the Tutberidze girls. And I really hope that it gives more countries the strength. If Leona had won, that would have been crazy. But she didn't because Sherbs has that Sherbakoa strength. I'm telling you, she's somehow going to get to the Olympics and she's somehow going to win nationals next year. Because that's what Russian nationals is at this point. It's just Anna Sherbakoa winning somehow. With or without hyperventilating and smelling salts. And yeah, that's all pretty much I gotta say. Plot twists, plot twists. Plot twists. And right now that I say it, I don't think I can say the word twist. Oh, now I said it. As always, shout out to Leslie, Natalia, Timothy, Scotty, Jordan, Antonio Mansaca, and yes, and we got a new one, a new. Honestly, thank you so much to anyone who's joined to be a VIP patron just for a shout out. You guys are amazing. Also, and Ask Me Anything every single month. Those are coming soon. The new Patreon is called Maria. Hello, Maria. I hope you're well. If you want to support me, my Twitter, my merch, and my Patreon are all down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.